Dr. Mahmoud Umar Muhammad. I'm a land surveyor, a geophysicist, a geographer, and a radar remote sensing and geographic information system expert. And by the special grace of God today, I'm the Director of Community and Rural Development of National Hydroelectric Power Producing Area Development Commission. Community and Rural Development Directorate is the engine room of National Hydroelectric Power Producing Area Development Commission, because irrespective of the 6 directorates, all we do them for the community, for our own communities. And that is why I'm saying the Directorate of Community and Rural Development is the engine room of the IPADEC. And our functions or responsibility are very, very enormous. Very, very enormous. One of the functions is to apply asset-based community development strategies to initiate programs and projects. Secondly, to also manage and coordinate events and activities in this community. It is to work in partnership with the local community to support neighborhood and family networks, to also facilitate local participations and access facilities and services, to also encourage local creativity, vibrancy and diversity, to also work with the community services and other council staff to achieve community development outcomes adopted by the council, local government councils. Another function of this directorate is also to develop and maintain effective communication and foster partnership with various non-governmental organizations providing services to IPADEC communities, NGOs, and other voluntary services organizations too. Other functions of the directorate is also to develop and maintain effective communication links with the residents in all our communities. The directorate is also to provide policy advice to council on appropriate initiative of issues. Our board councils. To also develop new resources, dialogue with the community and evaluation existing programs, to also build links with other groups and agencies. So we are also charged with the responsibility of liaising with interested groups or individuals to set up services mediating in matters of conflict. Because you will agree with me that presently in some of our states there exists conflict. So we are supposed to be mediating between the in conflict between our community residents. Another critical responsibility is also to train, to increase the capacity, improve on the capacity of community and rural development IPADEC staff, and also to fight against the poverty rate that is militating our own people as a result of the generation of electricity power generation due to the dams operations in our state, particularly in Niger State, where we had up to 4 hydroelectric generation dams. So, in a brief, those are the functions of the Directorate of Community and Rural Development. Within these 2 years that IPADEC has come to stay, the Directorate of Community and Rural Development have proposed and executed or implemented 10 different projects. And the projects are: one, in any organization, particularly when you have a new organization coming on board like this, we are a humanitarian services organization. The first project we carried out was the need assessment and enumeration exercise, which was aimed at doing an overall survey of our community, knowing what it is required, what they actually needed, what they are lacking, because you quite agree with me that one community's need may be very, very different from the need of other communities. A community may require a borehole. Another community may not need borehole because they might have an established one. So like the first project we carried out when we came on board was to carry out the need assessment and enumeration exercise across 2,800 communities of IPADEC across the 6 IPADEC member states. The second project we have executed is the supply and distribution of life jackets. It is very enormous that before IPADEC came on board, we have recorded a lot of accidents on our rivers. I mean boat mishaps, where lives and properties were lost. So we came out with an initiative that, okay, what do we do to reduce the loss of lives and properties in our riverine communities, since the major transportation is by river? So what we do was to propose 10,000 life jackets of various sizes for the infant children, for the medium size, the large size, and VIP size. So, and when we distributed this IPADEC, by the time they start using it, the rate at which the accident is being recorded has drastically reduced, very, very much reduced. The third project we have implemented was, very much that currently the bandit activities have started spilling into IPADEC communities, to be specific, Niger State and part of Kwara State. And what most of the tools most of these bandits use, since they live in forestry environment, is motorcycles. So what we do is that we bought 2,500 motorcycles, and as a security, we distributed it to our vigilantes, the policemen, the security agencies, to help us also challenge or repel the activities of these bandits. Since motor vehicles cannot go into the forest, we decided to empower our security outfit by distributing the 2,500 motorcycles across the 6 IPADEC states. We have also distributed fertilizer to our farmers, 2021, 2022, and this 2023 is ongoing, almost completed. The farmers, most of these our community people are predominantly farmers. So, and why they don't achieve good results in terms of yield is because they are poor, they are patient, they don't have money to procure fertilizer that will boost the yield. So we decided to embark on supply and distribution of fertilizer to our farmers, sold at 60% subsidy rate. And since we started 2021, you very much agree with me that the rate of yield, in terms of, for instance, 80% of them are rice farmers. So the yield in rice farming has tremendously improved since we started implementing this project. We have also carried out a medical outreach since 2021, 2022, and 2023, because most of these our communities are remote communities. Remote in the sense that the accessibility to health facility is a great challenge to them. A lot of them have been living with ailment for quite some time because they don't have access to health facilities. And even if in cases where they have access to health facilities, they are poor, they cannot afford the medical treatment. So we implemented medical outreach where medical consultants medical experts were brought in and commissioned to carry out medical outreach across the 2,800 communities in 6 IPADEC member states. And believe me, sincerely speaking, it's one of the laudable projects that IPADEC has received a lot of commendation, because for 2021, we have treated, from the record, we treated 85,000 patients. 2022, we treated over 100,000 patients. So the rate at which people are living with the ailment has drastically reduced. And you will quite agree with me that the flooding issue has become an annual issue that for over decades now, our people along the riverine areas have been experiencing flooding year in, year out, year in, year out. So, and when it comes, they become stranded in terms of what to eat, where to stay, and most of this, most of the time, when the flooding comes, it also comes along with epidemics. Epidemics in terms of cholera disease, because the river will always come along with some deaths, some polluted waters have been polluted. So we give relief materials, we provide foodstuffs, we provide temporary environment where they can stay until the flooding is over. We also provide items like mattresses. We provide like detergents, call it, name it, all things that is required to make the life easy for them. We provide them. So we refer to that project as provision of relief materials to the affected communities during the flooding. Another laudable project that the Directorate of Community and Rural Development of IPADEC has implemented is the one we call YTP, Youth Transformation Program of IPADEC, where 5,000 youths across the 6 IPADEC states have been trained in 36 trade areas. During this training, we were paying, because the training is already over. We are already preparing for the second phase. We paid non-graduate 10,000 naira and the graduate 15,000 as a stipend to help them move to their various training or skill acquisition center. The plan is on the way to graduate these students, and also to give them starter pack that is costing the commission about 1.6 billion naira. So we are already preparing to distribute the starter pack so that these students who are trained, we take off on their own, so that at the end they will be practicing what they have learned, and in the course of doing that, the rate of employment will have been drastically reduced by 5,000 youths across the 6 IPADEC states. Not only the youths in the 5,000 in the affected states, we have also decided to consider those people that have settled, that are not indigent, but they have settled for long, the children who are born in IPADEC and IPADEC member states, we decided to train 1,000 of them also as well, so that they can also benefit, because they have no any other home other than their state of residence where they are. And today, we have also advised them to go on to do the registration with Corporate Affairs Commission. We want to take the burden for the cost of registration. I will soon travel to Abuja to meet with the Executive Director of the Corporate Affairs Commission. Why we want them to do that is so that at least by the end of the day, they will also have access to loan. They will have access to grants, so that this will boost their businesses. And another project is the school support, which have also IPADEC has also received a great credibility. 2021, 2022, 2023, we have sponsored over 6,000 students on the external NECO examination, because we discovered that most of them, because their parents are poor, they don't have even money to do this registration, or some of them have attempted it and they failed, but they cannot afford to go for sitting for the external NECO. So we paid for over 6,000 since the inception of this commission. We have also given scholarship or awarded scholarship across the 6 IPADEC states to over 2,800 students in various tertiary institutions. Not only that, going down to primary and secondary, we have constructed classrooms across the 58 LGAs of IPADEC. And we have not only constructed, but we furnished. And not only furnished, we implemented alongside with the construction of the classroom what we call a school bag project. A school bag project is the basic items that a student or pupil requires, because we have discovered that to buy pencil, to buy papers, eraser, and all whatnot becomes a big challenge for their parents. So we have implemented school bag project where laptops were also provided, tablets were also provided, so that these students right from their youth will be exposed to new technologies. We have provided school bags which were branded with a lot of items like mathematical sets, call it, name it, what a student or a pupil requires in the school have been provided. And the 10th project we have implemented is, when you look around IPADEC communities across the 6 IPADEC states, you find out that a lot of hand pump boreholes have been drilled, but because of little challenges, they are no longer functioning. So we took it upon ourselves and rehabilitate 6,000 hand pump boreholes. Like I've mentioned before, the rescue village is always being provided when the flooding comes, so that these people will have a temporary place where they stay. We have done that. We have established a rescue village that housed over 150 people at a time across 55 local governments of the IPADEC. So far so good. That is how far the Directorate of Community and Rural Development of National Hydroelectric Power Producing Area Development have gone so far as at today. One of the greatest challenges that we are always facing when we go out to implement projects is road accessibility to this community. Mostly because 80% of these communities are riverine communities. There's always non-existing road network connecting these communities. To go on to to implement projects in some of these communities that have not access roads is a big challenge. And we are already working on the road network. The second challenge is because of this lack of road network, people find it difficult when to even move a sick person to the nearest health facilities. So, and you see, when we came on board, the greatest challenge we started facing was that people never believed in IPADEC project, because they believe for decades the government has always been making pledges and failed. So it was very difficult. We were finding it difficult to convince them to accept IPADEC. So, but at this point in time, having implemented these projects, people have started realizing that yes, IPADEC has come to intervene. In fact, in some communities, people tell me, particularly the traditional fathers, will tell you this is the first time they are feeling the impact of the government, even when the federal government has been existing for long, because this thing didn't get to them. But we go to remote areas to implement this project. So people will tell you that yes, today, yes, this is the time now that they are feeling the impact. They know that the government really exists. So a lot of challenges. Just to mention a few. So for now, those are our challenges. The way forward, one, we have a division under my directorate, Directorate of Community and Rural Development, that we call Advocacy and Mobilization. In fact, they are supposed to be the frontliners for any project we want to implement. They are supposed to be an advanced team to go and enlighten people on the importance of that project, why we are implementing the project, and the modalities to be adopted in implementing the projects. And take, for instance, the use of the life jacket. Up to now, that some of them still believe they are swimmers. They were on there and they can be drawn by rivers. But that is not the case. You agree with me recently that we lost 150 people recently in Patigi local government area of Kwara State. None of them have worn this life jacket, and they were traveling in the night. If they have worn the life jacket that was provided to them, most of the life will have been saved. So the advocacy and the sensitization or mobilization division will help us to resolve some of these problems by enlightening people. Very soon, by next week, we'll be going out on advocacy and mobilization campaign on most of our proposed projects, so that by the time we are implementing it, at least the people will have been enlightened enough and they will have know how to handle this or go about managing this project so far. I came from National Space Research and Development in Samantha. If I had to think of the salary structure, I wouldn't have been here. I've been looking for a platform where I will be able to impact positive change in my own people who have been suffering for decades. It's sympathetic. So today, I'm happy, even with the little salary compared to what I earned in Mazda, that I'm here today and I'm making impacts into my own people. Most of the projects we have implemented so far are poverty alleviation projects. My people are happy with me. My people are happy with the IPADEC. And that is what has translated into most of these awards that you can see behind me there. Most of these awards that I've gotten are from my own community. So it's an inspiration, a very high one. So I'm happy. I have passion for the job, and I've been encouraged by people. And one of the encouragement is what you are seeing behind me. They are the various awards that have been given to me from various communities, not only from my state, across the existing NIPADEC states. One of the critical projects we want to very soon, which we have attended, but because of certain logistics, we couldn't implement it last year, is the project we call 30 for 30. 30 for 30 is for 30 people across 2,800 communities. That is 30,000 for 30 people in each of these IPADEC communities. Particularly, we are targeting women. So, and some of these women in the villages don't need much to be able to live a good life. So, since we couldn't implement it last year, this year we are proposing to implement that 30 for 30. And that was the more reason why we had to suspend that project, because the forms we sent out did not reach the target people. The target people are the people living in our rural communities, I mean the women to be specific. So having received a report on that, because what is the essence of implementing a project where it has not gotten to target people? So I recommended to the management for the suspension of that project, so that at least we will now come back and re-strategize ourselves and see how we can constitute a committee at the state, local government, and at what levels, so that this thing will now go down to the target people who are predominantly women. We are aware of that, and that is why we recommended for the suspension of that project. Secondly, we also want to repeat the medical outreach, because we still have a lot of people living with ailments in our riverine communities, and that we want to still implement a medical outreach. Up to tomorrow, we still have, because of paucity of funds, we needed more motorcycles to repel these bandit activities. So we have also proposed to buy more motorcycles as a security support to be distributed to these our vigilante groups, the security outfits, and whatnot. Not only that, this year too, we have also proposed to also award scholarships to students who their parents are very, 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 very poor, and we are also planning to go out to provide relief materials to already displaced people as a result of flooding. They are already living in camps. So, and which will also be accompanied with a medical outreach too, because already some of them, the epidemic are broken out, and some of them are already suffering it. So we want to replicate what we have done that gave us credit in the previous year, this year also.